Good morning. Namaste. How did you all sleep? Good? No, not so good. Sometimes it's a little challenging. First night at Kripalu to have a good night's sleep. Maybe you can take a nap later. So welcome, my name is Mariah. I'm very excited to be here. I graduated as a Kripalu teacher almost a decade ago now, and I teach in New Jersey and a lot in Europe, Asia. So I'm very excited to be here this weekend to teach and share my version of yoga, even though it's still Kripalu yoga, of course. So besides intermediate classes like this one, I also teach yin yoga. I lead in yoga teacher training. So part of my practice is actually based on Buddhism and the Taoist practice of yin yoga. So I'd like to weave some of that in this morning, bringing in the concept of yin and yang, or actually the practice of embracing opposites. Yin and yang, it's the concept of moon and sun, it's the concept of feminine and masculine. It's also the concept of pain and pleasure, aversion and attachment. We want something and we don't want something else. And how can we embrace everything and be okay with whatever presents itself, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant? And even on your mat, can you find that balance of being soothed and relaxed in the child pose and perhaps efforting in a warrior pose that you're holding, but can you find that same sweetness in a more physically challenging pose? So that you're constantly finding that equanimity, knowing that everything changes all the time. Nothing ever stays the same. So I'll lead you through some warm-ups. We'll do some movements, some standing poses. We'll end with a nice long series of stretches on the floor. If there's anything I offer this morning that doesn't work for you, if you want to do less, you're very welcome to do less. If you want more, if you need more heat, you're also welcome to adjust however the practice serves you to take care of your own body. Find a way to sit that's supportive. I suggest sitting up on your cushion, blanket, or even a block so that your hips are higher than the knees and you can find a nice, easy way to have the spine straight. And allow your hands to rest in a place on your legs where your shoulders can be at ease. If you're comfortable, close your eyes. If you prefer to keep them open, you can gaze down to the floor. And take a nice deep breath in. A gentle sigh out. And take a moment to fully arrive. Some of you just came in. Some of you may not have slept so well. Some of you may be unsure about what's to come. So see if you can allow to let everything fall to the background and bring your awareness to your body. And see if it's possible to feel your hands you feel if there's a difference between your right and your left hand in temperature? Is one hand easier to feel than the other? Do you feel your actual hand, or do you feel the imprint of it on your leg? Can you allow the touch of your hand to bring some awareness into your legs? You let your legs become this steady foundation of your posture. As if the base that you're sitting on becomes a little wider. As if your seat is spread out on a cushion or the blanket a little more. From that intentional grounding, allow your spine to reach upward, as if the crown of your head is being pulled towards sky, creating a little more space between each vertebra. Allow a little space between the back of your teeth, between both the upper and lower jaw. And even with your eyes closed, can you let the eyes be soft? And with this awareness in your body, slowly bring your attention to your breath. See if you can use your breath to connect the inner with your outer world. Drawing the morning air in, exhaling any stale air you accumulated overnight. And with the focus still on your breathing, allow the breath to become a little deeper, so that when you inhale, allow the belly to expand and widen. And on your exhale, belly button draws back to spine gently. Deep breaths, belly soft as you inhale. Very gentle, drawing back of navel as you exhale. And as you continue to breathe nice and deep into your belly, let these words by Dana Folds inspire your breathing. Breathe in spaciousness and acceptance of what is. Breathe out resistance. Breathe in possibility and optimism. Breathe out fear and doubt. Breathe in ease. Breathe out the need to change the way this moment is unfolding. Breathe in the certainty that what we really are is so much bigger than pain and suffering. Breathe out limitation and conditioning. Breathe in divinity and openness. Breathe out a prayer of thanks that even in the midst of difficulty, there is awareness. Take one more nice deep full breath in and a gentle sigh out. Slowly bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let's start our practice with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Jai Bhagwan. Jai Bhagwan means namaste in the part of India where Swami Kripalu was from. So you may want to offer a Jai Bhagwan or a namaste to the people next to you so you know who's there. And place your props to the side, just so you have it set up for later. I suggest have one block at the front of your mat and one block at the back of your mat, so you don't have to worry about that later. If you were already seated cross-legged, bring the other leg in front, so just to switch it up a little. And with your hands on your knees, just making a gentle swaying of your spine, a little circle. Noticing how your weight is shifting from the right to the left sitting bone. Let your circles become a little bigger, making them as big as feels right this morning, allowing shoulders, your head and neck to join in. Being aware of breath. So inhaling perhaps as you come forward and exhaling when you come back. You feel that your circles are so big they couldn't possibly get any bigger and shift direction. Starting with big circles in the other way. Making your circles a little smaller. And a little smaller. And a little smaller until you come to circles that are so small that you can feel them inside, but it would be hard to see from a distance. All the way back to stillness. Find balance between your right and your left sitting bone. And on your next inhale, reach your arms out to sides, up overhead. And on your exhale, right hand down, reach your left arm over to the side. Nice stretch for the side body. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale, left hand down, reach your right arm over to the side. And on your your own pace. Inhaling to lengthen spine and exhale to create space between your ribs, stretching the waist. Noticing that difference here between the solidness of the lower body, the legs staying still, and then moving in your upper body. One more to each side. Next time you come to the left, inhale, lift spine, and exhale, lower right hand down. Inhale, arms lift up again, and on your exhale, twist to right, left hands to right knee, right hand comes somewhere behind you without leaning into that hand. If it feels okay for your neck, look over your right shoulder. Allow the left hip to soften. Take a nice deep breath into your left lung. And exhale. Take one more breath here. And exhale, turn back to center. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead again. And on your exhale, twist to your left, right hand to left knee. Keeping weight in center. Relaxing the right hip. You can widen your collarbones, creating space in your chest. One more breath here. And as you exhale, come back to center. Inhale, arms lift up overhead again. And on your exhale, reach forward. Hands come down to the floor. Head can come forward as far as your body lets you go this morning. You perhaps gently press a little in your hands, drawing sitting bones back into the floor, creating a little traction. Notice how you could breathe into your back body here, allowing ribs to widen. Slowly walk your hands back to your legs, rolling spine up. Hands in front, go onto your knees. You find that the floor is a little hard. Feel free to place your blanket under your knees for a little extra padding. With your hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Lift your tailbone on your inhale. Arching spine, chest lifts. Draw your ears back rather than jarring the neck. Lifting chin only slightly. And as you exhale, begin to round. Lifting tailbone up to sky. On your next inhale, as your tailbone lifts and the sternum reaches forward, energetically draw your hands towards your knees. And on your exhale, when you round the spine, press the floor away with your hands. As you continue these movements to loosen the spine, see if you can use this very subtle intention in the hands to add on to these movements. So that when you arch, draw the hands towards your knees energetically. And as you round, press your hands down into the ground. On your next exhale, come back to a neutral spine. Curl your toes under, and on your exhale, lift your hips up and back into an easy downward facing dog. Perhaps you'd like to keep your knees bent for now. And on your inhale, lift both heels up. As you exhale, right knee bends, left heel goes down towards the floor, stretching the back of your left leg. On your next inhale, both heels lift, both legs straighten. Exhale, left knee bends, right heel to the floor. Stretch in the back of your right leg. And then from here, feel free to take a few moments to move and stretch in your downward dog as you please. Another option could be to draw your heels to the side and stretching the side body. And then go back to stillness. Take a nice deep breath in. And a gentle sigh out. Slowly walk your feet towards your hands into a forward fold. Keep your knees slightly bent. Let your head hang. And again, just take a few moments here to move or stretch in any way that your body appreciates in this forward fold. Perhaps bending one knee, straightening the other, or letting your upper body sway from side to side. And then go back to stillness. Slight bend in your knees. Begin to roll up your spine from the tailbone. Middle back stacks. Upper back, shoulders come on top of your hips and extend the arms sideways and up overhead. Palms together, draw them down in front of your heart. Close your eyes for a moment. Noticing how your body feels right now. You appreciate all the different aspects of yourself. Whether there's a self-critic talking, or there's the part of you that is fully enjoying, or anything in between. Slowly open your eyes, lower your hands, bring your feet in line with your sitting bones, so there's some space between your feet. As you inhale, reach your right arm up. On your exhale, bend your left knee a little bit and reach over towards your left, lengthening your right side. Inhale, left arm lifts, both legs straighten, right hand comes down, bend your right knee a little bit to lengthen your left side. Now again, same thing on the other side. So as you bend your left knee, reach over, lengthening the right side. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, right knee bends. One more on each side. Use your breath to inhale and lengthen and exhale to stretch. Inhale, lift up and exhale, both hands come down. Inhale, arms sweep out to the side and up, palms together. Exhale, draw them down the center line. Nice deep breaths, hands come down. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, palms draw down. See if you can breathe into your ribs to create space. Exhale. One more sun breath like this. And exhale. Next, inhale, bend your knees. Utkatasana, arms come overhead, palms together, straighten the legs as your hands draw down the center line. Inhale, arms lift, knees bent. Keep your chest nice and high. Exhale, palms together, press down into your feet. Again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, From your feet and legs, straighten around, reaching up. One more. Inhale. And press your feet down. Exhale. Adding on to this. Inhale, arms lift up as the knees bend. And then from here, as you exhale, fold over your legs, straighten the legs, hands towards the floor. Forward fold, feel free to keep your knees slightly bent. Inhale, knees bent, arms lift up, Utkatasana. And exhale, palms together, straighten your legs. And again, inhale, bend your knees, arms lift up overhead. Exhale, fold over your legs. Forward fold, bend your knees, arms sweep up, just lift, chair pose, palms together, straighten your legs. One more like this. Inhale, knees bent, arms lift, fold over your legs, head and head comes down. Bend your knees, inhale, Utkatasana. And as you exhale, fold over your legs again. Knees can stay slightly bent. Take a few breaths here. Allow the feet to be firmly planted, 4 corners of each foot, pressing down. Allow sits bones to lift up to ceiling, yet draw them slightly towards each other, keeping the hamstring attachment safe. On your next inhale, step your right foot back into a lunge, lower the knee to the floor, and untuck the toe. On your inhale, the right arm reaches forward, your chest stays forward and down. Then from here, the right shoulder draws towards your left knee, the chest stays in the same plane. And then draw the right shoulder a little bit back, allowing tailbone to point to the left heel, until you feel a really deep stretch in the front of your right hip. Stretch for the psoas, the deep hip flexor of the right side, on the right side. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, right hand comes down, straighten your right leg, step back to plank pose. Imagine your hands sliding away from you, right? Pressing away from you even though you're not moving, activating the back of your arms. Take a nice breath in. Exhale, knees down, child pose. Inhale, come onto your knees. Move your pelvis forward, shoulders come over your wrists, widen your collarbones, keep knees on the floor into a supported upward facing dog. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice deep breath. Find balance in your hands, right and left side of your wrist, equal weight. Feel free to bend your elbows slightly if you feel tightness around your shoulders. Imagining that you're wrapping your shoulder blades from the back towards the front. Take one more deep breath in here and exhale. As you inhale, step your right foot forward into a lunge. Lower your left knee to the floor, untuck the toes. Reach the left arm forward, keep chest low. Reach the left shoulder to right knee. Staying low with the chest, draw the left shoulder slightly up and back, allowing tailbone to point to right heel. And getting into the deep hip flexor on the left side here. Deep breath. One more inhale. Exhale, hand to floor. Step your left foot forward. Inhale and look up, lengthening spine. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees. Inhale, arms lift, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, press into your feet, legs straight and palms together in front of your heart. And again, close your eyes or gaze down to the floor if you prefer. Notice the effect of this first round of movement. And as you open your eyes, inhale, your hands lower and lift up overhead. As you exhale, hinging from hips with strong legs, fold forward. Hands come to shins or to your thighs, lengthen your spine as you look up. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back into a lunge. Again, this time keep the legs straight. Inhale, right arm reaches forward. And as you exhale, reach the right shoulder to the left knee. Feel free to lower your right knee at any time. From this reach, hook your right elbow over your left knee, palms together into a twist. And again, right knee can come down anytime. See if you can wrap your rib cage all the way over towards the left. And your belly button trying to kiss your left inner thigh. One more breath here. Exhale, lower your hands on either side of your front foot. Step back to plank on your inhale. As you exhale, press your hands down and away from you, activating your arms. See if you can keep a little space in the front of your hips. So it's almost as if you're trying to stick your buttocks out, but keep your hips in line with your shoulders as best as you can. So with the strength that this pose requires, can you find one place in your body that is soft right now? Take one more breath. Exhale, knees down, child pose. Notice the shift from strength to ease. Allow the breath to expand your back body. On your next inhale, come to your knees. Pelvis moves forward, shoulders come over your wrists. Feel free to keep your knees down or press the tops of your feet down, drawing the pelvis even further forward, arching the upper back into upward facing dog. Press your toes away from you. On your next exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. See if you can find some length between your armpits and your hips. If you find your lower back arching, can you find a ever so slight rounding? And if you find your lower back rounding, perhaps bend your knees a little bit to lengthen the lower back. One more breath. Nice exhale. On your next inhale, right foot steps forward into a lunge. Keep the left knee straight if that works for you. Inhale, left arm reaches forward, keeping chest low, left elbow, shoulder to right knee. See if you can feel that length in the front of your left hip, and then hook the elbow over your knee, palms together into a twist. And again, the left knee can come down anytime. Hugging your inner thighs towards each other for stability, and then allow the right rib cage to move back and the left ribs to go forward and around. Collarbones nice and wide. Deep breath in. Exhale, untwist, hands on either side of your foot. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees. Inhale, arms lift, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, palms together. Straighten your legs. Take a nice deep breath in. A nice sigh out. With your right foot, take a big step towards the back of your mat so that you're facing the long side of your mat. Turn your right toes towards the back of the room. The left heel turns out. You're setting up your legs for triangle pose. Right toes point to the right, left heel turns out. Inhale your arms up to shoulder height. As you exhale, reach long over your front leg. Inhale, come back again. And as you exhale, reach without going down. Inhale, coming back. Can you feel your body sliding in this one plane of direction? Inhale, going back, tipping from your pelvis, not just from the waist, pressing the left hip out. One more inhale here. And as you exhale, the pelvis tips, reach as far as you can, and then lower your right hand to your leg or to a block or to the floor, reaching the left arm up to ceiling. Both feet firmly planted. Left toes are turned slightly in. Lifting the inner arches of your feet, drawing energy up through the inner legs. Nice wide chest. One more breath here. Exhale, bend your knee, warrior two. Front knee comes over your ankle, arms to shoulder height. Looking over your front hand, see if you can find balance between your right and your left leg. Take a nice inhale here. As you exhale, reach over your front leg, right elbow to your right knee, sweep the left arm across and forward in line with the left leg into a side angle variation. And feel free to lower your right hand to the floor anytime if that feels good for your body. Can you feel the extension of your whole left side here? Outside of the left foot, reaching down, and the left fingertips reaching in the opposite direction. Bring your right hand to the floor or your block in a diagonal line from your right little toe. Place it down, lift the back leg up into half moon. The back leg comes parallel to the floor as best as you can. Right hand is on the floor on a block. Left arm can be up or left hand can be on your left hip. Then you stack your shoulders, leaning into your back body, but the top hip is slightly forward. Lifting up and through your standing leg, lifting the outside of your hip. One more breath. As you exhale, step your left foot next to your right, hand comes down, forward fold. Take a nice deep breath in, sigh out. Bend your knees, arms lift, chair pose, Utkatasana. As you exhale, straighten your legs, palms come in front of your heart. Noticing the shift in direction, if that changes anything in your perspective and the state of your mind. Notice breath. And on your next inhale, with your left foot, take a big step towards what is now your back. So you're facing the side of your mat again. This time left toes turn out, right heel turns out. Triangle on this side. On your next exhale, reach long over your front leg without going down. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, so you can tip like a teapot. Pelvis is tipping sideways so that the spine stays long. Inhale, come back. Exhale, front leg is firm. Inhale, come up. And this time as you exhale and you reach to the side as far as you can and let the left hand come down to your leg, the floor or block, and reach your right arm up. See if you can stack your shoulders, opening the ribs. See if you can roll the right side of your rib cage back and the left side of your rib cage forward. Notice your breath. One more breath here. On your exhale, bend the front knee, arms to shoulder height into warrior two. Finding balance between your back and your front leg. Shoulders soft. And on your next exhale, reach over the front leg, elbow can come down, sweep the right arm across and bring it in line with your back leg. Left hand can come to the floor if that feels appropriate for you. Let the legs widen enough so that your pelvis can descend, creating space for your body to make this shape. One more breath. On your exhale, left hand comes on the block or the floor in line with your left little toe. Then lift the back leg up to parallel in line with the right hip to half moon, extending the right arm up, or keep your right hand on your right hip. Can you trust and lean into your back body, stacking shoulders? Front hip is slightly rolled in, but the shoulders are wide and open. One more breath here. And as you exhale, hand down, foot down, forward fold. Take a nice deep breath in and sigh out. One last time, bend your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. And as you exhale, straighten both legs, palms come in front of your heart. Hands lower and inhale, lift your arms up. On your exhale, hinge from hips with a straight spine, strong legs, fold forward. Step your right foot back into a lunge. Lower the foot so the heel is turned out, in, toes turned out. And then lift up, right arm forward, up and back into warrior two again. Looking over your front arm. Keeping the legs where they are, bring your hands down in front of your pelvis. Then cross your wrist, reach the arms up overhead as if you're taking off your shirt, arms wide and palms stay facing up. And then turn your palms to face the floor. Notice if that changed anything in your shoulders. And then look over your front arm again. As we're sustaining this pose, can you feel the strength in your legs? And can you find a softness in your upper body, your shoulders, your jaw, your tongue? Without actually moving your foot, imagine and energetically draw the left heel back, activating your left hamstring. Press the outside of your right foot down. Can you feel your sacrum moving very slightly forward and expanding your imaginary brow line backwards? Notice your breath. What can you relax? maybe the corners of your mouth. Can you feel sensations rising, heartbeat going up? Can you watch your experience? Can you have an experience rather than waiting for this to be over? Take 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, straighten your front leg, turn your toes to the long side of your mat. As you exhale, fold forward, right-legged forward fold. Hands come down to the floor. And again, notice this shift from a yang pose, this warrior pose, invoking fire, requiring strength, requiring determination, and then this forward fold. It feels a little more yin-like, softer. Give your knees bend as much as needed. Energetically draw your feet towards each other, lifting the arches of your feet, drawing the inner line of your legs up towards your groin. And sitting bones lifting towards ceiling, crown is diving down. 1 more breath here. Nice breath out. On your inhale, bring your hands to your hips and exhale, bend your knees. On your next inhale, roll up to stand. Turn your right toes to the back of your mat. Left heel turns out. Bend your front knee, arms come to shoulder height, warrior 2. As you look over your front hand, bring your hands down in front of your pelvis, crossing your wrists, arms lift overhead. Keep your palms facing up to the ceiling as your arms come back to shoulder height. And with this, lifting your shoulders, turn the palms back to floor, to face floor, and then look over your front hand. Nice strong legs. Activate your right hamstring by energetically drawing that right heel back. Can you find stability in your legs? Balancing your upper body. Not leaning forward, not leaning backwards, being right here, right now. Fully centered. Notice your breath. Can you allow your breath to be so soft as if you were in a simple seated pose? Can you relax one part of your body? Maybe the tip of your nose. Can you feel sensations building in your legs? And can you stay present with that, just noticing it as sensation? Watching your experience as it unfolds, whether you like it or not. And you just be whatever is present, allow it to be. 1 more breath. On your next exhale, straighten the front leg. Turn your toes to the long side of your mat, and on your next exhale, again, fold forward. On your next inhale, elongate your spine, look forward. Place your hands on the floor or on the block right under your nose. Turn your right toes out. Left arm reaches to the left and up towards the ceiling into a twist. Spine stays nice and long. Imagine this stick from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Right toes are slightly turned out to create a little more space in your pelvis to facilitate this twist. Nice. Wide collarbones, reaching left fingertips to sky, right hand pressing down. One more breath. Exhale, left hand down. Turn your right toes forward, and then your left toes turn out. Keeping spine nice and long, parallel to the floor if you can, and then reach the right arm to the side and up overhead towards the sky. Again, imagine this stick lining up with your spine so that tailbone and crown are lining up. Imagine to bring the back of your head in line with your pelvis, and from there turn it to the side. One more breath. And exhale, lower your hand down. Look over your left shoulder. Turn your left toes to the front. Turn your right toes in and come onto the ball of your foot, bending the front knee into a lunge. And on your exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in. Sigh it out. One more breath here. On your exhale, lower your knees to the floor. Child pose. Allow your knees to widen enough that you don't feel any compression in the hip joints. Sometimes bringing the knees slightly wider gives you a little more space. Allowing the head to rest on the floor or on the block or your hands so that neck can relax. Take a nice deep breath into your back body. And exhale, release. Noticing what it feels like to be on the floor in this soothing pose. And then slowly extend your arms out in front of you if they're behind you, and then slide forward onto your belly. And from here, roll onto your back. Extend your legs, arms by your sides. This is not Savasana yet. Although you're very welcome to just stay here if you're done for this morning. So as you're lying on your back, slide your legs together so they're in the center of your body. You're lining up with the midline of your body, and then draw your right knee in towards your chest, using your hands either around the shin or behind your thigh. Flex your left foot. If you can, keep the left leg extended, but feel free to bend your knee if that makes it more accessible. Imagine rolling your left inner thigh down towards the floor to keep that left leg balanced. Notice if your leg is stuck because it's compressed in the hip joint or because there's tension in your right thigh. If it feels like it's slightly stuck in the joint, bring the right knee a little over towards the armpit rather than towards your chest. It may create a little more space to draw that leg a little closer. Keep your neck nice and long, imagining lengthening the back of your head. As you keep the left hand on your knee, extend right arm out to side at shoulder height. And then very carefully invite your right knee over to the left, keep right shoulder on the floor. So for most of you, you won't have right shoulder and knee, right knee on the floor. So for now, keep the right shoulder on the floor and just let the knee hover. If it feels okay for your lower back, you could bring the right knee down to the floor, let the right shoulder come off the floor. It creates a little more stretch along the shoulder, only if that feels good. Take a nice deep breath, side out. On your next inhale, roll back to center. Draw your right knee towards your right armpit. The sole of the foot comes up towards the ceiling for half happy baby. So hold the outside of your right foot with your right hand. Knee is bent. It may be easiest to have the arm on the inside of your knee. It just gives you a little more space for the hip to open and knee to move sideways. Invite the top of your left thigh to sink towards the floor. Flexing left foot, keeping the left leg active. If you cannot bring the foot to face the ceiling with the knee bend, you could just keep the heel a little closer to your right buttock. And bend your left knee. Place your left foot on the floor. And then let the right ankle land on or just below your left knee. Flex the right foot. Bring both legs towards your chest. The right arm reaches between your legs and hold the back of your left thigh or the left shin. Right foot stays flexed to stabilize your right knee. And then just as much as your body is willing to go, invite your legs closer to your chest. You could use your right elbow to let the right knee move away from you a little more. That will increase the stretch. You can soften your shoulders, relax your jaw, lengthen the neck. Breathing into sensation perhaps on the right outer hip or the right inner thigh. One more breath in. Slowly lower your left foot to the floor. Keep the knee bent for now. Extend your right leg up towards the ceiling. Interlace your fingers behind your right hamstring. Flex your right foot. Feel free to keep the left knee bent or extend the left leg on the floor. Both feet are flexed. Right leg is lengthening up towards the ceiling. Left inner thigh rolls towards floor. So you can keep your lower back soft here. See if it widens on the floor. Shoulders relaxed. And perhaps you'd like to roll your ankle a couple times. First in one direction, then the other. And you let the foot come back to stillness. Take one more breath, elongate. Reach the heel up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, point the toes. Release your hands, and with a straight leg, slowly lower your foot all the way to the floor. And allow the leg to relax. Straighten your left leg if it's still bent, and notice the difference between your right and your left side. And feel as if your right leg is longer now, or more present. Maybe it feels as if your right hip is closer to the floor, or anything else that you notice right now. And slide your legs together again. This time, left knee draws in towards your chest. Use your hands either on your shin or behind your left thigh. Right foot is flexed, reaching foot away from you. And imagine the skin on your right thigh stretching towards your knee, creating lots of length in front of the right hip. And then again, see if you can find that place where your femur bone, the thigh bone on the left is not compressing into the hip socket. Perhaps bringing that knee a little further to the left. One more breath here. As you keep the right hand on your knee, extend left arm to floor at shoulder height. And with your right hand, kindly invite your left knee towards the right into a spinal twist. Keep your left shoulder on the floor. Allow the outside of your left hip to stretch. Widening collarbones on the floor. See if you can let both shoulder blades widen and soften down in contact with the ground. If you like to bring the left knee to the floor and let your left shoulder come up, you can do so as well. Just creating a gentle stretch on the left shoulder. One more breath here. And exhale. Inhale, roll back to center. And draw your left knee towards your left armpit. Knee stays bent, foot points towards ceiling. Flex your foot. Hold the outside of your left foot with your left hand for half happy baby. Ardha Nanda Balasana. Bringing your left hand on the left arm on the inside of your left knee may give you a little more space. If you can, extend your right leg out on the floor and let the top of your right femur bone, the thigh bone, to drop. Foot is flexed, right inner thigh rolling towards floor. And then see if you can create some softness in your lower back, lengthening tailbone towards right heel. Bend your right knee, foot on the floor. Bring your left ankle on your right knee just below the knee. Flexing foot, knee points to the left, and draw both legs in towards chest, reaching left hand between the legs, holding to shin or the back of your thigh. You can use your left elbow to help the left knee out and away from you to increase the stretch. You can keep your shoulders relaxed, back of your neck long. Breathing into sensation. One more breath. On your next exhale, right foot to floor, extend your left leg up to ceiling, interlace your fingers behind your left hamstring. And feel free to extend the right leg if that works for you this morning. Both feet are flexed. Lengthening the back of your left leg up to ceiling, and then feel free to circle your ankle of the right or left foot a few times. One direction and then the opposite direction. As you come back to stillness with the foot, inhale, Reach the heel up towards the ceiling and exhale. Imagine the whole thigh bone drawing down into the hip socket. Point your toes of the left foot, release your hands, and with the straight leg, slowly lower your leg towards the floor. I'm using a little core strength. If you're ready to stay here, just feel free to stay here. If you feel the need to pull your knees into your chest and gently massage your lower back by rocking side to side or back and forth, take a moment to do so. And when you feel complete, allow your legs to extend. If you have a blanket, you may want to cover yourself up. If you don't have a blanket and you want one, let me know and I can get you one. Once you're settled, take a nice deep breath in, hold your breath for a moment, and exhale, sigh it out. Letting your body sink into the floor. Allow your legs to find their natural rotation, whether in or out. Arms at a comfortable distance away from your body, palms facing up. You're lying here on the floor. Can you feel the resonance of your practice in your body? You feel the flow of prana, life force, circulating, wiggling its way into places that before seemed dark or stuck. And gently bring your attention back into your body. Become aware of the ground underneath you. Slowly wiggle your toes and your fingers. Circle your wrists and your ankles a few times. Just to bring some circulation back into your legs and arms. And if you're ready, take a nice full breath in. Sigh out. Reach your arms overhead if that feels good to give yourself a nice full body stretch. So your J just started now. As you bring your arms by your sides, bend your knees and roll to either your right or your left side, whichever side you're drawn to. As you're on your side, take a moment and reflect on your practice. See if there's one thing that was insightful during the practice for you, whether it was something physical or a thought you had, something that you'd like to remember, something that may even be supporting you throughout your day today. And then when you're ready, come slowly back to sit. Close your eyes one more time. Just take a moment to notice the effects of your practice. What is being loosened and what is being strengthened in your body. Notice your breath and the quality of your mind. Notice the overall sense of your being right now. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and bow your head in reverence and gratitude to yourself for showing up early to practice, to the people around you that were here to support you, and to the practice itself that always brings us insight on whatever level. I wish you a very pleasant and joyful day here at Kripalu, and thank you all for coming. Jai Bhagwan.